What is going on, everyone? We are on to round two, and hopefully you made the trip with us. Hopefully you guys were able to get past round one of the fantasy playoffs because we're in the thick of it now. This is officially the second half of the football season, and man, oh man, the Commish did not do good in round one. In 4 leagues, he made the playoffs in all 4 leagues, only in advancing in one of them. So, I guess that's better than being knocked out in all of them. But man, oh man, does it suck to be out of some of the more important ones there. So, but one of them being the Dynasty League, I will be seeing those guys again. And the following season will be starting immediately after the Super Bowl, pretty much. Everyone's going to be on the phone, wheeling and dealing, kind of seeing what kind of draft stock they can get, what kind of dead weight they may be able to shed, and what kind of shiny new prospects they may be able to lure onto their team here. So we have a returning guest tonight, a very familiar face to the Clubhouse, always takes our advice and comes back here to chop it up with us. We have Bogey from the GWN Network in the house, talking fantasy football with us and breaking it all down. We're going to continue to go over the studs and duds of this season, looking at the wide receiver category. And of course, we're here to answer your start-sit questions for tomorrow night's matchup versus the Rams and the Seahawks. We have some big-time players going and available this upcoming game. And if you guys have questions on who you should start, maybe who you should fade, since, like I said, can't afford any mistakes here. We need all our guys to pop so we can go ahead and get in the money round here. So we're here to help you answer those questions as well. And like I said, any other questions, if you're in the Dynasty League, we're ready to chop it up with you there and kind of talk with that as well. So before we get too farther into it and before we get to the commissioner's report to see who's the new players on this dead body here, the casualty list, we got to do one thing first. Hit the intro.
Clubhouse Network. Crash out, this a crash course, no lecture. Lay hack, keep a signal caller under pressure. Check the stats, finna up the score for the record. Chicago Clubhouse Network. Crash out, this a crash course, no lecture. Lay hack, keep a signal caller under pressure. Check the stats, finna up the score for the record. Introducing first, he the crooked commish, making sure it's understood that he him. Next up, he the mouth from the bay, dynamic duo, hit you with an ounce of that game, they make you bow face and salute the truth. Curve all the blase blind, the whoop-de-whoop. On the path to the bag, got that money and the power. They gon' ball every fantasy football hour. Got them sour, these hacks can't hack it. Meanwhile, they on point like a cactus. Want smoke and get smoked like some cat piss. If you can't be good, then maybe good at it. Ay, Chicago Clubhouse Network. Crash out, this a crash course, no lecture. Lay hack, keep a signal caller under pressure. Check the stats, finna up the score for the record. Chicago Clubhouse Network. Crash out, this a crash course, no lecture. Lay hack, keep a signal caller under pressure. Check the stats, finna up the score for the record.
If you're on to the second round, you're going to be doing what Lamar was doing right there. Fucking touchdown in the fucking money. Here we go. And that much closer for the bragging rights, the ring, the belt, the trophy, whatever the hell you guys do in your particular league. Any kind of punishments you guys do in your league for the worst or shittiest player, please drop that in the chat. Let us know. Speaking of the chat, let's go ahead and check that out. Acknowledge some of the playmakers already in there. Lee, thank you for joining us, part of the Playmaker crew with the GWN Network, Gen Wealth Network. Let's see, fantastic, and your team. Always next year. There is always next year. No Adams for tomorrow. The ear to the street is already giving us some information here. So, and then Frank the Tank in the Chicago Clubhouse League, the reigning champ. The reigning champ did not even make the playoffs this year. Went from first to worst there. So, hey, like Lee said, there's always next year, champ. You're still a champ, just a former champ. So, hang in there, Frank. It's all right. What that tells me, though, is you didn't listen to the show enough. You didn't listen to the show enough. And with that said, let's go ahead and just get into it and look at the commissioner's report. Check out how long the casualty list is today. Not too long. Let's see some of the big names there. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL, season-ending injury, not only for this season, but really, if you look forward to it, how next season it's going to cut into that big time. Granted, I know nowadays there's players that are able to kind of seem like they have superpowers and come back super early from injuries and are able to hit the ground running. Maybe Mahomes will be one of those guys, but if he's not, you got to prepare for that. If you're someone who's in a dynasty league, how does that affect you? Are you looking to dump him now since he's kind of getting into his 30s? Sure, that's not old. You know, he's not near retirement or any shit like that, but he's not no spring chicken either. So, and then you never know how a player is going to be able to come back from injury, let alone how the Chiefs in general will just look, you know, going forward. They were kind of on the decline this season. We could see they were struggling to even stay above 500 and get into the playoffs. And, you know, this year's one of the first years in a long, long time where we won't be seeing Patrick Mahomes or the Queefs, as Lee and Ear to the Street likes to call them. So, like you said, Devontae Adams will be out with a hamstring injury. He may be available for playoffs, especially if they get a first round bye, but monitor his situation there. Bam Knight has an ankle injury. He is more than likely out for the season. We still need a little bit more information on that. We have Christian Watson, potentially a season-ending injury as well. He just came off of it a few weeks back, was balling out, looking pretty solid. Chest injury now, this time. Man, oh man, injury prone that guy is. RJ Harvey, his ribs are banged up. He will be missing some time. That may be a pain threshold type of situation there. So, and then Devin Neal with the hamstring, he is going to be missing pretty much the rest of these games. May be available at playoff times, and that means not fantasy playoffs, but actual NFL playoffs. So, and if that's the case, does us no good since the season's over already. And then lastly, Woody Marks is hurt his ankle as well. How long he's going to be out is still to be determined. So go ahead and monitor that, see how well he's been practicing throughout the week. So some guys expected to return this week, some big names. Drake London has a PCL sprain, expected to come back. T. Higgins and Darnell Washington with a concussion. They're both expected to come back. Nick Chubbs is expected to come back this week. And lastly, Chris Rodriguez with a groin injury is expected to come back. But of course, continue to monitor those guys just in case they can't go. Make sure you have somebody locked and loaded, ready to go. So you're not scrambling last second there. So with that done with, hey, stay tuned. Former Cheesehead Packer fan, thank you for joining us. There's a little message from you from some of the other ones here. Good to see you. El Nino Brown, good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, fuck Green Bay all day, every day. So, but stay tuned, JB. Thank you for checking us out, coming back to the Clubhouse. He may be coming back officially here on Saturday for the pregame show. So we're trying to work out the details, but he may be making a return as well here. So Christian watching should be good to go, he says. All right, well, we'll see. And then Chicago Cubs fan for life. That's what I'm talking about. Go Cubs. Damn, hopefully their injuries heal. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. Like I said, these players are kind of coming back like Megatron now. You know what I mean? Just super fast from these injuries and don't need much of a ramp up period. So you never know. You never know how quickly these guys are going to be back. So let's go ahead and get into it. Get my co-host here. Said he was going to be a little bit late, but surprised us and is actually on time for a change. Good for him. Good for him.
This fucking guy.
How you doing, buddy?
It's like, I'm not always late. It's not always my fault. I carry a tribe with me, so I blame them, not me.
Yeah, hey, somebody else gets thrown under the bus. That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. As long as those damn people.
Yeah. Oh, I hear that you had a good week in fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Looks like all your teams advanced.
Yep. I definitely had a little bit of a scare with that, the Kyle Pitts revival and Bijan that game. That I'm like, what the fuck? This guy all of a sudden decided to have a whole career in like one game, and I was down 75. I was down 75-8, but luckily I dropped 200 points on my opponent, and it didn't really matter what he did on Thursday. So that was nice, and so far so good with the rest of everything else. Like advanced to the second round of one of the other ones, and the dynasty one that we talk about, that's looking good. I'm coming off that first round bye, so looking to continue those winning streaks in both those. And like you said, that perfect weekend, my Niners won too, so it was all around. It was a really good weekend.
That's awesome, especially when you get that kind of perfect weekend when it's the playoff times or fantasy playoffs. I mean, really can't ask for anything much better than that, really, can you? I mean, if you want, you're a little greedy.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of getting greedy right now. I'm hoping my Niners, finish off the next couple of weeks, and all my fantasy teams, all my fantasy teams, all my fantasy. Oh no, that's gonna be my Super Bowl, my friend.
Oh,
so
you motherfucker!
That's gonna be the cherry on top of the cake if I win a couple of Super Bowls and some of my leagues, and the Niners take out the Bears and solidify a playoff position. That'll be the little icing on top of the cake.
You know what? We had a guest all lined up, but now that you're talking that shit, I don't know if that's a good idea because it's just more backup for you. It's just more backup for you. But you know what? Fuck it. I'll take the 2v1. I don't give a shit. Let's go ahead and get on our guest, the guy who's responsible for that intro music. If you guys like that shit, go ahead and hit up my man Bogey from the Gen Wealth Network. Welcome back to the Clubhouse, my friend.
Hey, glad to be back. Pleasure. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Always appreciate the invite. I actually I took a last minute invite last time and then didn't realize the time changed difference. So I showed up on time, but actually at the end of the show. So time doesn't exist when you're on mushrooms, actually.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yes.
It's a level playing.
I've been thinking about this scenario a lot. Like, so Mal, check this out. We need the Seahawks to beat the Rams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we know the Rams are gonna. Oh, thank you. You can just put it right there.
Look at that, Grubhub.
So you know the Rams are gonna win out, right? So we'll go ahead and let that happen, but we need the Seahawks to beat them tomorrow, right? Then we win out, right? And number 1 seed, baby.
Yeah, exactly. That's the number one goal.
Dream.
I mean,
here's another
man could dream.
The scary one. We're like, okay, it don't matter who wins tomorrow because they go to the 12-win team and the other team's still 11 wins. And then if we lose, we take care of business every game except for against Chicago. We can outright miss out.
Yeah, that's
like that game against Chicago is hella important for both of our teams because Chicago could miss out if everyone else wins out, and then they lose out. Like if they lose to Green Bay tomorrow or on Thursday or Saturday, I'm not trying to put that juju on you, but I'm just saying like if there's a scenario they lose out, it's super bad.
I mean, that whole NFC is crazy right now. I mean, the Bears went from first to 7 with that loss against Green Bay. So I mean, pretty much no one's.
And 7-2
Yeah,
after
yeah, exactly. That's
and
like
then we
no
got
one's safe right now.
and then
It's
whoever
you
wins
jump
the
up and down
South,
quick.
whoever wins the South is going to push out a double-digit win team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is.
And then, like,
because
because ideally, I need. There's no way the Seahawks and Rams aren't getting in, right? So it's like I gotta hope that that Chicago or Carolina, like somebody's really need to start fucking up here. You know what I mean? Like, and we just gotta take care of business, man, somehow, some way.
The way that I saw them, we're breaking it down earlier. Someone else was breaking it down. The Lions are essentially in the playoffs now, or in playoff mode now. They literally cannot afford to lose any more games.
Yeah,
and they need help with other teams losing. So it's like they're essentially, instead of having to win 3-4 games, to win a championship, they need to now go on a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah,
to go.
You know how crazy Dan Campbell is. He probably got in everybody's face like 3 weeks ago, right? Like, we can't lose. Huh? Why need caps? The whole 9, right? He's getting in everybody's face, though. That's Dan Campbell. He'll get in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go get them. Absolutely. Go bite them raccoon ankles. Go bite those raccoon ankles.
You know what I mean? Everybody's and they're all beat up too. And it's almost like, is that not they call them the cardiac cats, right? With Dan Campbell, because they play shootouts. You know what I mean? They get in shootouts. Games are down to the wire. Look at this season's coming down to the wire. They're the number 1 seed last year. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. And Bogey's giving us some more, or not Bogey, Lee's giving us some more information. He's saying offensive tackle Charles Cross is out for Thursday night's game versus the Rams. That's not going to help the running game. I mean, how does that affect guys like Ken Walker and Charbonnet and that whole rushing attack?
Ken Walker was already bad this year. And I was a Charbonnet guy just because Charbonnet, like, when he got a chance to carry the load last year, he was solid. He's a more physical back, and I think he makes more out of nothing versus Walker, where Walker needs to get that one cut and then have the big play and or he's big play and or touchdown dependent. Let's just say that when I think of Ken Walker. So I was already, Ken Walker's a fade to me already.
Okay.
Charbonnet too. Like, I'm not really fucking with it. Like, the only one I really want to have over there is like JSN, or if you're in a super flex, obviously Darnold, or like even like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess Rashid Rice. I mean, what's his name? Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
I guess if you're like in a bind here, because I mean he was open for a touchdown last week and he would have had a bigger game, but like Sam Darnold underthrows him. You know what I mean? Doing Darnold things. But yeah, I would say even for that, the tackle being out, it's more so detrimental for Darnold, I would say, because the run game's already been kind of fast. They're still running a ton. It's just not efficient, really. You know what I mean?
You got to think he's still seeing ghosts right now. Every time he sees the freaking LA Rams defense, like, he's seeing ghosts, and now he's going to lose a tackle on top of it. I mean, he got sacked like 8 times last year when he was in Minnesota, and then 4 interception game this year, and now he loses the tackle. I mean, that doesn't spell good for Seattle, but that's good because we need them to do some things over there.
Yeah, we need Seattle to win somehow.
Let's talk about some of these key injuries and maybe how they affect dynasty leagues. I know we're pretty much at the end of the season here. If you had one of the key big injuries like Patrick Mahomes there, that was your main guy. Hopefully you have a backup guy that's already sitting on your bench. If not, would you prefer someone like a JJ? Who do you think is a viable option? Would you rather prefer like a JJ or a Kirk Cousins type of QB, or Jacoby Brissett type of QB?
It'd be Brissett.
Yeah.
It's just because
I'd definitely be Brissett right now. They're still throwing 50 times a game over there.
He's throwing it like so much. I don't think he's thrown less than 40 times since he's got the starting gig. And he's had a game where he threw 57 times even. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe last week fucked him up. Against the Texans, I didn't see I know he still threw 3 touchdowns, but like, I can't remember the pass attempts right off the top of my head. But yeah, going into that game last week, he ain't dropped no lower than 40 pass attempts. So he's throwing that.
I mean, he's unlocked Trey McBride too. Trey McBride was definitely doing all the catches, but no touchdowns for all last year. In the beginning of this year with Kyler Murray, but once Brissett jumped into the starting lineup there, he had absolutely unlocked Trey McBride. So I'm loving that because he's helping my fantasy team keep on chugging along. And Michael Wilson too also became a wide receiver one once
Stanford
freaking
alumni.
once Brissett start looking his way, like you said. And it's crazy because it's enough for everybody to eat right now. So I mean, McBride's getting his love. Wilson's out there getting his love. So I mean, that's just you gotta hope that they keep throwing the ball like that, because if your fantasy teams are predicated on those guys getting the ball, that's exactly what you want.
Volume is key, and it's like I feel like this is a game that like Kirk Cousins right now, and the Falcons, they don't got. It's not like they're not trying to win the game. Like they're gonna shoot it out. Like you know what I mean? Because they don't got their own first round pick next year, so it's in their best interest to try to win some more games and fuck the Rams up, right? Because the Rams, those fucking assholes, have their and then there's
the rich get richer there,
right? And then there's the bad defense, especially the secondary that the Cardinals carry. So Kirk Cousins, going back to the streaming question, I'd rather stream Kirk Cousins. The only thing we run the risk of is just super badass Bijan stealing it all somehow. You know what I mean?
I mean, does the return of Drake London kind of make that maybe a bit more appealing if he's able to return? I mean, he's coming back off of an injury, so who knows if he's
you can't not stack the box, or at least keep 7 in the box. So Drake London, even upon his return, he's going to get some single coverage there, and Cousins is going to take the shot.
Yeah, honestly, that hurts Pitts. Like Pitts had a ridiculous game last week. Now he's going to come back to earth. Honestly,
and Cousins is trying to put resume out there right now. He's trying to put listen, I'm a year removed off the Achilles, or almost 2 years removed. You know what I mean? I'm looking like back to form, and it's a bad defense that he could exploit with those weapons. So I do like Drake London coming back for Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? Period.
Here's another question. Not so much an injury that happened in the QB section, but a late benching. Looks like Tua is being benched for the rookie from Texas. Is it Ewers, or how do you say that?
Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers
sounds like a foreign beer, huh?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Quinn Ewers.
Was it Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson? Isn't Zach Wilson up there somewhere?
Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
I mean, and this part for the course, they were immediately eliminated, right? Or upon being mathematically eliminated, they immediately switched to let's go see what we got with Quinn Ewers, which is
that's big for A-chain owners. I mean, that could definitely affect how they operate with because he got a lot of like dink and dunk passes or swing passes and stuff like that, and he basically during their little 5-game winning streak, what they kind of might save Mike McDonald's job. Like A-chain was like the big engine that could with
they are
with the games that he was putting up.
They're playing against the Bengals, right? And they got no film. The Bengals defense sucks. They got no film on Quinn Ewers on top of that. And they're like one of the worst if not the worst against the tight end position. And this goes back to not just this year, but the last few years straight. So then you couple that with a rookie QB, his first start. Naturally, they're going to lean on the safety valves versus the tight end and the running back. So, this might not hurt, especially for Waller. Like for anyone that was excited to stream Waller this week because of the matchup, and now it's definitely a downgrade, but I'd still play him just because of the matchup and the fact that he's probably going to look to the tight end as a safety valve outside of dumping it off to Achane. You know what I mean? They're going to design they're going to design the shit for Achane, like screens and shit like that. Shit, tight end screens too. I can see it.
Do you think Waller's going to get more targets or featured more than Waddle though? Because
if there is a strong point on the Bengals defense, it is like how they don't necessarily let these opposing number 1 receivers go crazy. Maybe it's because everyone runs all over them and scores on them with tight ends. You know what I mean? So I still like the Waddle. It's not like we're not going to play Waddle, but think about this. this is his first NFL start, and they do have a decent pressure rate over there with the Bengals for what it's worth. So especially if this kid is going to get behind, which they probably are. You know, I mean, you still got Joe Burrow on the other side. They get to the moment they get any kind of lead, they're teeing off on this kid. It's a bad offensive line, so that ball's got to come out.
It might be like a Max Bosner, the Max Bosner freaking all over again.
That. He got behind in that game and he got destroyed.
Let's go look on the defensive end. Another key injury that I didn't mention earlier, but definitely one that's going to affect more, I guess, for dynasty leagues. And Micah Parsons tearing his ACL on a non-contact injury. As a Bears fan, you know what I mean. It's not one that I'm really lighting a candle, for him over at the church or anything like that. I'm not cheering it, or anything like that. It's just football is a physical sport and shit happens. It is what it is. But for dynasty wise, how do you think these injuries to a Pat Mahomes and a Micah Parsons really affects these owners kind of going forward and stuff? If you were an owner of one of those, would you be more eager or looking to kind of trade and get what you can for them, or just stick it out and hopefully they come back?
In dynasty, I'm never married to anybody for real. You know what I mean? Especially because okay, this is always how if they're on my team, it's because I love them, right? But if you love them more than me, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're willing to pay that. I'm all about it. You know what I mean? So in this case, if I'm on the other end trying to purchase a Patrick Mahomes, I'm pointing out the fact that he's coming off the injury. Like, hey, bro, I'm trying to pay a discounted price. I'm not paying for the name brand. Right. So say now on the flip side, if I'm the manager of a Pat Mahomes, in this case, I'm probably just sitting because all my dynasties are super flex anyway. So that's the rare commodity in super flex dynasties. So, you know what I mean? More than likely I'm just sitting because say someone goes, hey, here's the first round. And it's early enough for me to get another QB. I don't really want to play that game. I'll wait. With today's science and medicine, I am a doctor. Right? I feel like he'll be good by. Here's the thing: the fact that he got the surgery 48 hours later, that means the swelling wasn't crazy. So and we didn't hear anything about structural damage. So if we're talking about clean tears on both of them, you know what I'm saying? He should be back. I would say September. He's probably not going to be mobile, which is what helped him this year. Yeah, 420 something rushing yards this year. You know what I mean? Which is second on their team rushing. You know what I mean? And Kareem Hunt had a whopping 500 so far. So it's not like anyone. They just can't run the ball. Period. But you know what I mean? Him as a passer, and we get him rocking the knee brace. We probably won't miss no more than September, if that. You know what I mean?
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're one of the owners there, I mean, you can live with that being a dynasty owner. Redraft leagues, that may be slightly different question depending on how much he misses the season.
Yeah, he becomes a super value. You know what I mean?
Right. And that kind of was leading to what we've been talking about lately as looking at the average draft positions of some of these players, kind of trying to see if they kind of lived up to the hype in a sense.
Nice segue.
One of the guys there for sure, when we look at the wide receivers, ended up being a consensus not even first round, but just first overall pick in Jamar Chase. He had a tricky season. I mean, the injury to Joe Burrow did not help because he ended up going through a few game stretch there where he didn't look like the number one pick or put up the numbers that you were kind of expecting to get. But he wasn't complete trash either. When Flacco came in, he kind of balled out there, and even when Joe Burrow has been back, he's kind of put up some decent numbers, or at least numbers that look more like what you're expecting to see. So, in your opinion, Jamar Chase, how much of a number one pick? Would you still agree that he was the number one pick, or the guy to get, or is there's someone better next year that you're going to be looking for?
All things considered, hindsight's 2020. If we're to say now, if I knew what I knew now, right? He's okay. How about this? Say we didn't know what we know, and we do it all over again, right? I'm probably still taking Chase because he's connected to Burrow. You know what I mean? He's not just this is why I faded.
As long as Burrow's there, bro, like he's always going to be that number one option.
Yeah, and I faded
Jefferson. All he can he could blow up for 10 catches and 220 and 3 touchdowns at any game with Joe Burrow. That's just
I totally faded Jefferson because I did not want to fuck with JJ McCarthy at all. You know what I mean? I don't want to play that game and spend it. But then like CD, if CD doesn't, miss however many games with that high ankle or whatever it was that he had, you know what I mean? He's probably still in the conversation. And so it's like, it's football. There's certain things we can't predict, but with injuries at least, right? But there was some things we could project, like Jefferson taking a big drop off. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill, I just totally faded him. Period. Right? Who else? Mike Evans for me was always a fade. Who else was early? Oh, London fucked me a lot. You know what I mean? Pause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was a second rounder most of the
like for running backs, like Saquon Barkley, was a top 5 pick and one of those guys that if you look at his numbers, he's maybe a
and there's only one guy. Only one guy to have 2 thou and then come back and then perform again like crazy and be number 1 again, but maybe not follow it with 2,000, but be number 1 again. That was LT. You know what I mean? Like 2,000 yards. Even Derrick Henry's 2,000 yard season a couple years back, he came back the next year, was all beat up. You know what I mean? It's one of those things, I guess, especially at the age that Saquon was at.
King Henry's definitely someone that got drafted early too. That has been disappointment.
Yeah, second rounder.
Lamar Jackson has definitely been someone that was not the one or 2 or third, quarterback that was taken. That just the beginning of the season he was on fire. Now he's fucking killing. He's hurting everybody now. You almost want to bench Lamar Jackson at this point.
Brock Bowers,
Yeah.
Him not only getting hurt, but then, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually, it was against him getting hurt that 5 weeks or whatever that we missed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, looking at a guy right here at pick number 7, St. Brown, I would say this guy for sure, even though he had a few sprinkled games where he scored in single digits, but for the most part, for the 7th pick, I mean, this is very good production. You know what I mean? And and how much do you look at the stats this year and then taking it forward to next year? Because obviously this year, I think the clear-cut number 1 receiver has been JSN.
Here's the thing.
It's just been insane.
The vast majority of the public, right? They're going to take everything that happened last year and just draft in succession of what happened, right? See, for me, I'm usually trying to, like, for example, people aren't going to take Chase up right up top this year. They're going to take JSN, like you said. So if I have a high pick, I'm going to be glad to have Chase fall to me at 4th or 5th overall or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because he's Jamar fucking Chase. CeeDee Lamb, he's going to be a hell of a value next year, especially if they retain George Pickens, because people are going to be like, oh, George Pickens is the guy. And you might even see CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens go one after another next year, as in CeeDee and then George Pickens. But I'm always going to be happy to take CeeDee anywhere if I can get him outside of the top 6 and all the other receivers like a Chase or who's going to be a good value next year and we'll probably be able to roll the dice just because who he is, Jefferson. People are going to fade Jefferson out of that top of the first, maybe even the whole first round. You know what I mean? And then I'll take a shot. Say if I'm going receiver, I'll roll the dice on a Jefferson if he's my number 2, right? Like, I mean, it can't get any worse. Probably, the kid's showing some flashes. He just hasn't been consistent when we're talking JJ McCarthy here, right? And I mean, there's an array of things I could already project as far as who's going to go above who. And I'm usually trying to find the tier jumpers. So if you get someone to fall out of a tier like Jefferson, right? He's definitely a tier jumper. You know what I mean? Or if for example, let's see here, Achan this year, wherever we drafted him, he tier jumped for show. Achan's going to be one of the, a top 5 off the board running back next year, hands down, maybe even top 3. You know what I mean? It might go in some form of Gibbs, Bijan, Achan next year. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's funny because you'll see, and this is why it never stops for us at the GWN because we have dynasty season. Then we do all the draft coverage for the players, and then mock drafts throughout the entirety of the offseason, and you see where the trends go, and you see who's jumping, and you know what I'm saying, and it's part of the fun because even though I'd rather just win, it's not about being right. Being right is what we're trying to be. Is we're trying to be as accurate as possible, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But really, that's one of my favorite things. Like I don't need to be right. I just want to win. You know what I mean?
One of the guys that didn't help you win this year, if you ended up drafting him, is Brian Thomas Jr. Looks like he went in the second round in most sleeper drafts, at least. Definitely one right from the jump. You probably started having a bad feeling, thinking that he's going to be taking a step back. And it's one of those situations where it's like with a guy like this, you really can't even try and trade him. He had a little spurt there in the mid part. If maybe you could try and sell him while he's hot, but then after that, I think he got injured there for a bit, and then since he's been back, he's just been so-so. So,
but you just got to think about it though too. Like Trevor Lawrence is starting to catch fire. Like Trevor Lawrence was in a new offense with
it was the Cardinals and then the Jets.
But at the same time, you got to think about it that he might be getting comfortable in the offense himself. I mean, the Jaguars are pushing for a playoff push. Yeah, they're pushing for a playoff push for themselves, and it might be actually just a good time that if Trevor Lawrence catches fire, this guy's obviously going to get raised up with him. So I mean,
I guess it's just how much can you really feel comfortable with putting him in your starting lineup when he's been pretty inconsistent this whole time? Looking at his final matchups,
someone's playing him against me this week against the Broncos. I would love that. If like any of my opponents out there play Trevor Lawrence against me.
Why would it? But then you want to.
I mean, that's going to be that's going to be a litmus test, I guess, to see what Trevor Lawrence is, like you said, playing against bad teams, or if it's he's actually found something with him and the head coach.
The survival of
the lightning in the bottle now.
Yes. And I mean, I guess 6-year breakout is the thing, right?
Yeah, I guess that could happen, right? Can I ask your opinion? Here's another guy that I would say he underperformed, even though he wasn't a first round guy, but I think late second round, maybe third round guy. Good old Ladd McConkey. Definitely very disappointing compared to what he produced last year. Obviously, it looks like Keenan Allen did kind of dig into his shares there. But yeah.
A lot had to do with Quentin Johnson blowing up that first month and a half of the season too, though.
You know what's crazy? It's like I feel like they had their pockets loaded like crazy. And Jim Harbaugh, we're very familiar with him. Me and the mouth, right? He's Jim Harbaugh. He's a crazy son of a bitch. You know what I mean? He's like he got all these weapons, and then it's like okay, you got QJ, you got fucking the lad. Then you know what I mean? You bring back Keenan Allen. They draft Trey Harris in the second round, right? They freaking they got Marion Hampton. You know what I mean? And then they got Gadsden, right? The tight end. It's like we've seen flashes from each one. It feels like they've been specific with their game plan every week. Like, hey, this cornerback is who we're gonna pick on this week. It's a QJ week, and then you know what I mean? So I think the coaching is really well. They've been coached very well this year, especially all the injuries they've sustained. You know what I mean? Because Bones cursed them, right? But that's another story. You know what I'm saying? To get my point though, Ladd, first they're fooling around with Keenan Allen. Then they start getting all these offensive line injuries, right? Now the ball got to come out real quick. Again, then Keenan Allen, he just ain't handling. So Ladd starts to come on fire again. You know what I mean? But then, you know what I'm saying? What's fucked up? He gets hurt. Then he plays, but he doesn't miss no time. He just plays banged up, right? And that's kind of where we've been with Ladd, plus all the bad matchups he's been having. Finally, we get to a good matchup here. You know what I mean? And the pass rush, they're probably going to be without Quinnen Williams, you know what I mean, who's been a great pressuring opposing QBs. And then unless he can clear concussion protocol, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, but I'm just saying, I like Ladd this week, you know what I mean? In week 16, where we need him. If you made it here, you made it here in spite of him. And I will say that in one of my dynasties, I definitely made it here in
Very
spite
nice.
of him.
Well, we got a question coming in from Jose Ortiz or Joseph Ortiz here.
What up, Jose?
He says, let us know if it's a PPR. Let's just assume that it is a PPR, but a start one, Emeka Ibuka or Jalen Waddle this week.
I mean, that's pretty easy.
You
You just got to go about the quarterback, man. Like we just talked about it. Quinn Ewers is going to be starting, as a rookie. You don't know how much he's going to push the ball down the field, or just like you said too. If Joe Burrow goes off for 3 touchdowns in that first quarter, it might be real slating for that QB real quick. So I mean, like obviously, Becca has taken a step back. He hasn't been the same one that he was the first couple months of the season. Believe me, I wish he was because I have him on my fantasy right now. I'd like to see that kid again, but Baker and Mike Evans coming back and things like that coming, like they're fighting for a division themselves. So there's definitely going to be, checking that ball up and let Baker bake. I mean, hopefully he throws some passes to Ibuka, but I definitely see Ibuka as a better choice.
So this is the half PPR, and yeah, looking at, I mean, it's really tough. I mean, you're really not intrigued, but like you said, the quarterback situation there in Miami with Tua being sat. I have to guess a big part of that is you want to sit him so he doesn't get injured, and you're on the hook for a shit ton of money now that he got injured in a meaningless game at the end of the season.
Well, he's going with Kyler Murray somewhere. Like that's what happened. They're both going to go spend time in the offseason somewhere because they did. Miami did exactly what the Cardinals did, and they just sat his ass and said he's not going to play for us no more. So that's all that told me is that Tua is no longer going to be the quarterback in Miami going forward.
Right.
I feel like, and this is why they're going to take a look. It's doing their due diligence. You have to take a look at this rookie, and then obviously with Tua's brain injury history, you feel me? He's like, listen, we're gonna sit you down so we can maybe trade you because they're ultimately probably gonna cut him and take the dead cap loss. You know what I mean? Take the hit on the dead cap.
I figured that was the thing because who's gonna pick up Tua with that much money still on the books?
I mean, you could always trade and restructure, right? Or like that would be the agreement. Because but why would he want to do that? We've seen guys like Russell Wilson be outright cut, and then Denver took a $39 million cap hit, right?
I see that. I see that as more of an option.
New York did it not too long ago when they cut Danny Dumbass. Like, there's a bunch of teams that we've seen do this. So it's not far-fetched, you know what I mean? But going back to the question, man, I'm going to play Waddle just because of the volume. You know what I mean? Like, if you really want to look at the breakdown on Ibuka played most of his, like, whenever Mike Evans wasn't always on the field, but when he was basically targeted. You know what I mean? And Mike Evans played almost exclusively on the perimeter. And when he was on the field with Mike Evans and Ibuka, he was in the slot. You know what I mean? But that's the thing too, is like, okay, you get now you got all 4 of these guys on there. That's kind of the only reason why I'm a little off than Ibuka. They did target him in the red zone, but Baker basically targeted everyone last week in the red zone. You know what I mean? Like,
he got 7 targets, 4 catches for 60 yards. Almost got that touchdown would have definitely put him over the top. But
for sure,
I mean, having Mike Evans back does take a little something away back. I do like his matchup a little bit better against Carolina at Carolina, but it's a division game. Division games are always tricky. I see what you're saying about Jaden, though. He may just get peppered with targets if he ends up being Quentin's favorite target. You know what I mean?
Garbage
or just kind of security blanket. That too.
I mean, but we also just talked about that his favorite people are going to be his tight ends and his running back. So because he is a rookie in a game like that,
matchup wise though, right? Matchup wise, that's the favorable matchups for Waller and thing. But I'm just related to like rookie QBs tend to lean on a tight end and or running back as their safety valve.
And that's why I went. That's why I went back to a QB.
It's usually the tight end when you're looking for the dump off because most young QBs, they don't, the ones that right out the gate that know to dump it off to their running back if there's nothing else, those are the smart ones. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure Mike McDaniels is going to be like, listen, kid, we're going to make it as easy as possible for you. You know what I mean? Just as long as that line holds up for you. You know what I mean?
What do you call? We have Coach Chef in the house here. Baker has been off. Coach or Chef, not Coach Chef. I'm sorry, Chef James. Chef James. Coach Chef is my
What up,
co-host.
Chef?
Chef James is from the Tilt is Real podcast squad. He was in. He kind of checked out your show a few weeks back.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mike Tippman and them, man. I
Yes,
checked out
yeah,
the episode I missed, the last one.
yes. Tipton is another good one. Mike Tipton's another good one. We always liked it when our guests return back. Chef James said that one of his co-hosts during the off-season, Mouth, wants to come on and do like a double thing. Have him come on during the off-season when it's kind of the dead period and talk about, maybe reflect a little bit more and kind of maybe get prepared and ready for the next oncoming season and stuff. So
Nice.
we'll definitely get that. But thanks for checking us out. And I also want to give a shout out again to Mr. Ortiz here. Yeah, I hear y'all. I just wanted to see what y'all think. And that's kind of the main thing. What we do here, we like to do at the Clubhouse is bounce ideas off the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying we're here all like experts. We're not the Mel Kipers. We're not the fucking Matthew Berrys even. But we're here kind of just to talk shit through it, talk shit out. And at the end of the day, like I always say, it's your money. It's your team. You go with your gut after taking in all the information and what you think is the best choice there. But we're hoping that at least
that one is a tough one.
Give you something to think about. Go ahead.
That one is tough. Ibuka versus Waddle. That one wasn't that easy. And I'm just gonna side on the and hope that Waddle gets all the volume on compared to where we're gonna need some efficiency here. If he's only like 7 targets is lovely. But it's like they're going to be, if he's going to be in the slot more often than not, I kind of don't, we need him to catch a touchdown.
Yeah. Chef
and
James.
Rotating in and out the slot with Godwin because Godwin's almost exclusively playing in the slot.
And that's the thing. That's a shit ton of mouths to feed in Tampa Bay, especially now that Evans is back. And then you still have the tight end there as well. And then even the running backs get some dump offs here and there. So, but Chef James, let us know who you think between Ibuka and Waddle, who do you think is a better player better this week? And this is a half PPR league in this particular.
And clearly Baker, he shows up in big spots. This is going to be one of them. It's just it's tough.
This is good for the division right now. This is for the division.
Yeah.
Whoever wins is probably winning the division.
Makes me lean Waddle just because I need more volume here. I feel like I might get anywhere from like 8 to 10 targets out of Waddle, and just because I feel like the fact that since he's been so bad against the run all year, it's not like the Dolphins. I don't see the Dolphins going 3 and out like crazy. How about that? I was trying to get to how I word this. You know what I mean? So I feel like we might get a little surprising little shootout here, and hopefully it's via way of the Bengals just running it up, and then they just let them backdoor cover. You feel me?
I'm hoping for it, man. I got Joe Burrows going right now in the semifinal, so I need him to throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns.
There you go. Hey,
Chef James says Waddle says he's saying Waddle scares the shit out of me. So
it does me too. Because it's not just the targets; it's the quality of the targets that's going to get. That's what worries me too. Like you're right, he might get 8 or 9 targets, but if they're 10 feet over his head, it's not no good.
If 8 to 10 targets and they're all shitty, and if you're more comfortable with the 7, maybe more targets that we can get out of Baker to Ibuka, it's not a bad play for Ibuka. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, because same thing is like, what if we don't get a touchdown out of Waddle, but I get, at least, what if I get 10 targets out of Waddle, but he only has 3 catches too? There's such a realm of possibilities here. And
one of those has to be a touchdown, then. Yeah, for sure.
Here's what I always tell myself when I'm in these tough binds here. I just say, like, who am I willing to die with? You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honestly, just player wise, I'll be so mad with the Waddle situation. I'd be so mad to die on that Waddle Hill right now. You know what I mean? It's like, I fucking knew it. You know what I mean? But see, say he didn't do shit, but he got the 10 targets, I wouldn't be mad because I'd be like, shit. You know what I mean? He got the volume, he just didn't do anything with it. You know what I mean? And that's just football. Right? But if you're more comfortable and you want the quality of passes, then it's a slam dunk to play Ibuka then. If you're basically
but are you willing to have Waddle give you 3 points and lose your fantasy league? Especially because right now we're probably on playoffs right now. So That's just that risk to reward type of thing. Yeah. But not you no more. You're knocked out. We don't worry about that for you.
Hey, whoa! You don't got to be
Yeah, you
that
don't know
guy.
what that is no more. So don't want to talk about that. I understand that's a 4-letter word for you because you understand what that is no more. But I'm just saying, like, if you want,
Disloyal, fool ass, bitch made punk.
that's right, sucker.
What do you
Say it to my face, Paul.
I will. I'm one of those things that where what is it? How's it going Friday? Man, I got mind control over mouth. He'll be like, "Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up," and I'll be listening. But when he leaves, I'll be talking again.
Talking about behind you, tapping your shoulder. What the fuck you say?
Hey, as soon as I heard that squeaking ass, that squeaking little Schwinn, it just tucks in his chain real quick.
Yeah. Maybe he won't see this
My
shit.
grandmama got me that chain.
I'll take that chain. You better watch it.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. You look like you're that guy. So Joseph said, "I'll start with Abuka. I'm gonna have to die with him. I just don't know what your ears is going to do." Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame
I
you.
don't blame you. I feel you on that one.
Oh, we got another one here coming in from Chef James. I'm considering A.D. Mitchell or Keenan Allen.
That one's tough too because A.D. Mitchell. I mean, who's throwing the ball, right? I guess okay, how about this? They cut one of their backup QBs. Remember how they literally healthy scratched Fields and then they played
Tyron
Brady
Taylor?
Cooks, and then they had some other practice squad guy they elevated. They cut him. So that's kind of a tell that they're gonna elevate one of Tyrod or Justin Fields. So I would just monitor that because then I would play A.D. Mitchell if it was one of them.
Maybe it's
I like 80. I like 80 right now too.
He's getting peppered like a number one. It's just volume, and like they can't run worth the shit either right now. So they're throwing it. You know what I mean? With a bad defense.
He may have mistyped or he may have something from another team. What do you think about either AD or Waddle? Do you still like AD even? I know.
I just play Waddle in that situation just because like they got a better offensive minded guy in Mike McDaniels. That's where I go to the coaching, right? Where I go, okay, I feel like right?
Jesus,
like,
yeah.
We're in the same situation there.
This even more.
It's like if it's even if it's Tyrod Taylor, I'd be like, you know what I mean?
I mean, but you gotta think about he's actually the adult in the room though. you once again you're gonna live and die with the 7th round Quinn Ewers. So that's where I always go back, man. I always go back to he might have the offensive mind coach and Mike McDaniels, I'm sure, to try to coach his ass up to whatever he can. But that also scares me because you don't know what you're gonna get from him. So I mean that's like
those play action and wide zone, inside zone schemes that all from the Shanahan thumbprint. Mike McDaniels is one of them. So you know what I mean. I think the best thing he got going is there's no film on him. You know what I mean? So,
that's true.
You know what I mean? That might be the best thing he got going. But I think in that instance, I'd still rather play Waddle unless you tell me, because even if it's Justin Fields, we haven't seen Justin Fields and A.D. Mitchell like that. It's been really with Taylor. And then I guess he did catch the touchdown last week from Brady Cooks, right?
Yeah, and I think
it's still like I don't know if I want to die on that hill. I mean,
but I think what you're saying about there's no film on Quentin. It doesn't take long, I think, for teams or the defenses to kind of figure out if he's a player or not. Because you look back at Dylan Gabriel, and it's one of those things. I feel like within that first game, or even like maybe first game
or touchdowns, and then he threw 2 touchdowns in that first start, and then I think that's all he ever did the rest of that. The course of the next 3 games.
Yeah, like I said, so it doesn't really take too long before they're like, oh, okay, so this is what he can do, and this is what he can't do. Let's try and get him to do more of what he can't do, and shit. And depending on how athletic and limited you are, I mean, you may be easier to figure out. They could run all backups. I'm scared he's played our short passes. I must be talking about Quentin or all 80.
If it's all short passes, I'm with it. that means, you know what I mean? That means that they should all get their fair share of targets. I think okay, look, if we're getting, you think we'll get 30 plus pass attempts out of Quinn Ewers? I feel like
Fuck no,
the Bengals are gonna run it up.
not if they want to win the game. That's the recipe of Quinn Ewers throwing for 30
they're
plus,
not gonna win the
throwing
game.
30 plus times. No, I
That's
understand
the
that, but
point.
like,
We
I mean,
want them
either
to
way,
not
you
win
gotta.
this game. We want them to be
But
losing like hell and just throwing.
Mike McDaniel still wants to keep his job, bro. Mike McDaniel still wants to keep his job, so he wants Quinn Ewers to have like 20 passes and he wants 18 to have a fucking 200 yards. That's what he wants. I mean, that's not what we want for fantasy, but there is no way there's no way he wants Quinn Ewers throwing for 35 times a game. There's no way he wants Quinn Ewers throwing 35 passes a game.
But something tells me that Mike McDaniel's like cover job is the Miami Dolphins head coach, to compare to his real job, which is like bringing those boats, overseas and shit with packages and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
allegedly.
You know what I mean?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I think that the Miami job is a little cover there for him. So it's
just because it's a port city.
Right. That, you know what I mean?
That's because it's a port city, huh? Just because it's a port city.
Hey. I hear things. Happen there.
Hey, what was the other Brett? Mike? Adam Gaze.
Yeah.
Remember, he's wide-eyed in the motherfucker, bro. And look,
bro.
Remember his there was a scandal. Check this out. The line coach. It was ironically, it was the line coach.
Offensive line coach or some shit like that. Yes.
Yeah, he was the offensive line coach, but yes, line coach, pun intended. And there was a video, he was in love with a stripper. He was on full T-Pain. He was in love with a stripper. And he was like sending her videos declaring his love while he was railing that good snow.
Scheme.
And then she put that video out. He got fired. But I was like, aha! I knew Adam Gaze and his whole team. That's exactly how they scheme up their game plan every week.
Bro,
they were really bad.
That was so wild. That was like seeing that shit happen. It feels like that came straight from like the ESPN show Playmakers or whatever. That one show.
That's a throwback, bro. That was a good
bro. That lasted a season because it was too real. Like the NFL kind of like, hey, like you're kind of giving. Giving us a bad.
It was like if
NFL got mad at that they got the script from the NFL. They're like, we got our script, man. What the hell's going on? Like, we got a real season to play over here. We're scripting shit over here. You can't be stealing our ideas.
Bro, that's hilarious. Bro, no, I do remember that from the Dolphins for sure. Like seeing that and this one's for you, baby. And just fucking bam. Like, Jesus Christ, bro.
That guy, he just wanted some love from the stripper.
Oh, yeah.
He was totally the guy that would do the ass crack bump. Like, he was totally that guy. Baby, let me
give me 1 second here real quick. I'm going to send an invite real quick. You guys talk amongst yourselves real quick here.
Yeah, do your thing. All right, so look. Week 16, week 17, I'm coming on to that show.
Oh, I'll be there too. Shit, I'm doing Bells and Whistles on that one.
You know what I mean? We'll get more gang members. We'll get more gang members. I'll get Guccini to come on. You know what I mean? We're gonna gain up on. We'll gain up on old Crook here.
Yeah, because I mean, last year I had Crook, I had Coach Chef, and I had my boy Gino in the house, and it was a great day for me. Like by the time I got inside the house, it was already like 21-0. So I hope we have another.
Right. We did play. We played the whole division last year.
I said that we freaking whooped upon them. It was very nice. I had a lot of fun drinking all kinds of tequila and having all kind of lot of beers on my boys' heads.
Hell yeah, yeah. I'm a tequila guy myself. I mean, I'll drink whatever. Like, just depend. Like, for example, if the homie goes, I drink. Bucanas. I'm like, all right, fuck it. We're drinking some scotch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
I'm not opposed to. Yeah, I'm not opposed to some Bucanas or a little bit of something different.
Listen, I'm not a fan of scotch. Period. But like, if a motherfucker's like, hey, this is what we're drinking. Like when I used to go to like the bicep bars with my Mexican partners. You know what I mean? Because it's cracking in there. You know what I mean? You cracking in that thing, but you know when you see the motherfuckers with the big old buckles and the hats, you know what I mean? And you know, oh, these are the Hefes right here. And they're
That's
like, you
right.
know what I mean? They're always drinking the Buchanans.
That's how they could. It's not a paisa party if you don't get that Buchanan.
Wow. Yeah, man. I got twisted off some Buchanans one time though, because we also had a bunch of cheat code, allegedly, right? So I was drinking whatever. I was drinking whatever the fuck, just to we're trying to take the edge off. You know what I mean? But we were in the studio. We had a bottle of Buchanan's, and I was just like, it's just that scotch because you know what I mean?
It does.
Like, my pops,
It gets
they
a
drink.
different burn.
Yeah,
It's a
they
different
drink
burn.
Johnny Walker. They'll do like Johnny
Oh
Walker
yeah.
Black or Johnny Walker Blue, or you know what I mean?
Oh,
And like, I'll be like, I'll show up to the family party and they're like, oh, what y'all drinking? Oh, Johnny Walker. You know what I mean? You gotta sip it. You know what I mean? So I always just bring tequila. I always just bring my own bottle. Like, I bring tequila.
One of my lady's family members brought some I don't know what it was. It was some bourbon. It was like 140 proof bourbon. Like
that shit smooth.
Oh, that cleaned up the insides out. I ain't gonna lie. It was smooth.
That should clear all your sinuses.
Yeah. He cleaned everything out of me. Like he's like, you better sip that. He's like, don't go crazy with that stuff. That stuff will make you feel a whole lot different if you try to drink it too quick.
When we first started like going out, like downtown San Jose, it's the premier parties central. You know what I mean? So many clubs and bars. Like, there's like 8 streets with clubs and bars, you know what I mean? And they're all within walking distance if you wanted to walk, you know what I mean? And so like, and everyone comes from everywhere. So when we were young, like, we had to master the art of bar drinking, you know what I mean? Because you go out deep, right? You go out deep, you get stinky faded, and it only takes one person to get into some shit, and now we're rumbling in this motherfucker.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you ruined the night. Ruined the night.
Right? And it's like, but see, going back to why I brought this up is because when we were going out, like you'd be like, oh, we're drinking Hennessy with Coke backs or something, right? Then you start exploring, like, oh, what's that blue shit right there? Oh, it's AMS, bro. Adios.
That was your first mistake.
Top it with the 151. So like, if you didn't steer it, by the time you got down to the bottom of the drink, now you're drinking 151 and turn. You know what I mean? That should have you. Bro, yeah, like I said, we had to master the art of bar drinking because I learned
it is properly named. It is definitely properly named.
Hey, so here a throwback one before we got another guest that's just going to join us here for a minute before we wrap it up. But another good throwback one, I'm sure we all originated to or started with was that good old Mad Dog 2020.
Oh my God, yeah! When I wanted to learn the hard way.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, look, that used to have me call.
That strawberry kiwi. That strawberry kiwi was a creeper. You thought it was like you're drinking some Kool-Aid, and all of a sudden you're puking like Exorcist.
You will throw up that color, whatever color it is. It's the same coming out.
It really is.
Hey, that should have had you vial. You know when you throw up the vial, and you're like, pause. And there's nothing, you know what I mean? There ain't nothing coming out, pause. And you're just like, hey, look, the Mad Dog 2020 had me calling Earl on the porcelain telephone, bro. I was just calling Ralph.
My name is Ralph. My name is Ralph.
Listen, man, I'm not fucking with that shit.
Let's go ahead and bring in our guest here as well. Late addition to the show, but he's a very familiar face to the Clubhouse as well, making a late little return here. We were talking about him we're getting together with him in the off season with one of his co-hosts. But before we do that, with a little appetizer here, get him back on the show. Chef James from the Tilt is Real. What is good, my friend? How you doing? You said you had a little something.
What's up, Chef?
Hey, everybody can hear me all right? I didn't get
yes, sir.
Mic check or anything, but yo, you guys sound good. I was listening to you a little bit. Sorry I couldn't jump on earlier for you, but what I was saying, I just had to come in here and talk about the waddle thing because it scares the living crap out of me.
Tell you, it does. I don't trust it.
And what I was trying to say in the chat was that I'm looking to bench Waddle for either AD Mitchell or Keenan Allen. Like that's how low I'm going.
Okay.
It
would be AD Mitchell for me then.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
That's the thing too, is like if your mind's already made up, You know what's funny? We'll play that game, right? We'll be like, we know we're not going to play. Waddle's probably in the lineup right now. We're like, we know we're not going to play. We're waiting all the way down to be like, all right, yeah, pulling the trigger. You know what I mean? It's like, if you already got your mind made up, eventually I would play AD Mitchell over Keenan Allen.
I mean, the question mark in my brain started when did the news come out? Like 11 a.m. I was on a work call. I had to pause the work call and I just yelled, no.
Yeah, it's a decent matchup too against the Bengals.
Yes.
It has a decent matchup. Yeah, great for the quarterback, if anything. I mean, but I think Achane is the only person that you can feel comfortable starting on the Dolphins this week with the quarterback change. Like Tua's not even in there as the backup. They moved him down to the third string. That, in my eyes, turns around and says they're either looking at the talent, quote unquote talent, or they're keeping him safe so they can ship him off somewhere. He only has 1 year left on his contract.
That's what I'm thinking.
And they have a way out in 2026.
He took his ball.
It's
and went home.
It's a cap hit, but you know what?
We've seen organizations eat them caps like nothing.
Dude, like every year the cap goes up anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, basically.
And they're already looking at it that way.
Every few years.
It's good. It's not going to be any bigger than what Denver had to do with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? So, as long as you're not doing some
look how that turned out.
I mean, the Giants with Kenny G didn't work out too well either, you know?
Yeah. I guess you would know
contracts. Like,
Oh yeah,
that was pretty bad.
But now, man, that's my biggest tilt of the week right now. I'm also, I'm happy that RJ Harvey, speaking of the Broncos, is practicing in full. That had me nervous. So I was checking the stats on that. Like, dude, I've been tilting since Monday night was over. Like, it's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, so listen, there's a whole society of tilters. And on the flip side, the tilters, they get their joy. They have their good days too. And we call it fantasy row, the fantasy wide range of emotions. You know what I mean? We all live on the road. Sometimes you're on death. We just don't want to be on death row. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And luckily enough, in the big leagues that I'm in, I'm not. I'm sitting there nice and pretty, and I've made it there. Nice and pretty. I didn't get a bye week in both, but I got a bye week in one. So I'm like, all right, cool. I take a break a little bit, and then this news comes out. I'm like, I dodged the bullet. I dodged the bullet with Tua anyway, and then I turned around and I'm like, oh my god, like now I got to dodge this. Like I don't even want to be involved in it. I just want to sit his ass on the ground. On the bench.
Highlights just to be like, okay, let me.
I went back and watched preseason clips just to see if he had a chance, and I'm like, no.
No. That's what you're saying.
He's throwing ducks on slant routes. Like I don't want to be involved with that.
Right. Tell you, that's what I'm saying.
Into the Lions' den. Like you ever see the Bengals have a bad game when they're eliminated? No.
You know, right. I will say though. If you just track the Bengals this year, I think they gave up a touchdown to a tight end damn near every game. I mean, this goes back to
last week.
Yeah, except for last week. Who'd they play?
Baltimore.
Oh yeah, and then of course
we all expected Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely to score a touchdown.
Wow,
of course they don't. It's the unlikely streak. That's what it is.
Bro, I like that. That's the classic NFL where right when you think you got shit figured out. Like
any given Sunday, dude. Any given Sunday, but I am avoiding that Dolphin Sunday.
It's a game of inches.
It's a game of inches. Al Pacino doesn't have Al back.
And I will say, if you ever chop that for a drop, just don't chop too much of it because they definitely flagged us whenever we tried to use that shit. I guess this is such a great, one of the greatest speeches ever. This one isn't even real.
Right, shit, damn, man, they're being a little fucking strict on that shit, a little too strict. So,
man, it could have came from anywhere. It could have came from anywhere. They don't know.
James, since I have you on here, let me ask you.
Making sure of it.
Yeah, he wants his residuals. What do you call it? Before I let you go here, let me get your opinion real quick on the injuries on Patrick Mahomes and of course Micah Parsons. How do you think they'll affect Dynasty going forward if you were to have them? how would you proceed going forward with them?
I mean, any rightful person that had Mahomes, you're going to run out there and grab Gardner Minshew for whatever and hope that it works out. I don't think it will with Gardner Minshew, but he's viable, and I would hold on to him. I would hold on to him straight through the offseason. And just in case kind of thing, like dynasty, you're rostering anywhere between 28 to 32 players on any given roster. Normally, doesn't matter the size of the league. So yeah, I would say it all depends if it's super flex or not. I'm talking super flex. If it's two QB, 100%, I'm going out there and on my waiver wire. I mean, he's probably already picked up after yesterday, but I'm trying always, even with 1 QB leagues, man. I'm seeing more in the 1 QB leagues. These stingy ass players, I'll say that.
Holding on to hella QBs.
Hella QBs, dude. I had to trade. I traded Kyle Pitts for Aaron Rodgers at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I mean,
really? It like took that much? Like Aaron Rodgers ain't doing nothing. But I didn't have a quarterback. I had Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? And then I picked up Joe Flacco. I was good for a while, but Joey Buckets had to come in and rain on my parade.
Right. You knew that had a time limit on it, anyways. With
yeah,
Joe
I mean,
Flacco,
I was biding my time. At least I played Kirk Cousins last week.
Yeah.
Had a necessity.
Had no choice.
32 on them. Yeah, let's go.
QB rotation there. Usually, I like to do that with my tight ends and kind of pick up waiver tight ends week to week. But you're doing it with the QBs this year, and making it work. Nice juggling act, sir.
And then to answer part B to your question on how Micah Parsons is probably going to affect fantasy, not so much in dynasty. I don't think so, because defensive players can heal a little bit faster than offensive players. However, I think anybody that's playing the Packers for the last 2 weeks of this season, I think you can give them a bump up. Their pass rush obviously is going to be a little less than what it was with Parsons. Parsons makes moves. So, I think it's a bump up for anybody playing the Packers. I don't even know their last 2 games.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, the Packers got us, this Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. That makes me feel better about Michael Wilson a little bit.
There you go. Michael Wilson.
Makes me feel a little bit better about Brissett, too.
No. What do you mean?
You said the Bears. I don't know why I went to the Cardinals. Yeah, I see red. I see Bogey rocking some red.
The Bears this Saturday, and then I'm not sure. I think they may have one other division game.
The Eagles. We got the Eagles Commandos earlier in the day, and then I think it's like 2:00. So it's at 4:00 Central Time. And then
I need to have my prep sheet out, man. I'm just spinning off my head real fast. If you guys wanted to get technical, I'll pull out my show sheet.
Yeah. And then, the Cardinals got the Falcons. But great matchup too. I mean,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. And Drake London's probably going to play this week, practicing.
Yeah, I need you, Drake.
I need Drake.
I could have used him last week.
Oh man, I could have used him for the last 3 weeks. What are you talking about? I
need Drake London to have a good game so that Kyle Pitts doesn't. So
you know what's crazy? They came out and said today was the first time they got real specific. I read something. They said, he should be coming back from this PCL. I'm like, wow, no wonder it's been like 5 weeks because PCL is like they
kept it under wraps, man. They kept it under. They didn't want to put him on IR. They were hoping he'd come back faster.
I mean, Brock Bowers, Ricky Pearsall, those are other examples. Remember a couple years ago with the Cowboys, who was it? Schultz. Remember Schultz when he was his last year with the Cowboys? He had the PCL. Where they'll miss you're gonna miss 4 or 5 weeks with a PCL. So
easily.
Yeah, so hopefully London comes back. But I definitely need him because I will blindly throw him in the lineup. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He's back. I'm playing him.
Dalton Schultz, you're talking about, or who?
No, I'm talking about London.
Oh, London.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. Shit. Speaking of tight end, I would play old Schultz too.
Schultz has been good.
Getting like 7 targets a game.
I actually have him in my lineup this week. So.
Yeah.
But they play this week. They play Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's easy.
Ooh.
Man.
Yes. he should eat up
But
that
they're
whole
short Woody
offense.
Marks. Woody Marks is speaking of injuries. He's not
Yeah.
practicing yet, right?
Yeah,
Did he practice today?
I didn't look at the practice report today, but they did say that even himself, he said he could have went back in the game. It was just out of hand in their favor, so he didn't go back.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that.
He did. Yeah. So I mean, I would just monitor it. Last week he was limited all week going into the game too, and then he got 20. He was coming off of 26. I don't think he's got less than 18 carries in his last 5 weeks,
except for this past week. Jawar Johnson. What's the kid's name? Jawar Jordan.
Jawar. Yeah, and they actually
he looked good, and it's not him; it's the offensive line. It really is.
They definitely.
What is it called?
They signed him to the active roster, Jawar, because they elevated him from the practice squad last week. So and I don't know if that's a tell that whether
it's like, a tell that Nick Chubb is probably out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Because it also, a good reason to sign him would be like just to keep him away from other teams. Like, okay, he blew up. We're just not going to put him back to the practice squad. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Keep away game. Keep away game.
But I like that. That's a good take there because I don't think it's an indictment on Woody because shout out to our guy Neon Peacock. He's our resident Texans guy. And he was assuring us that Woody should be a go. You know what I mean? But
I like that news. I like that news. But Jawar was a huge pickup today on all my waiver ads.
Yeah, I was able to get him in a bunch of these dynasties.
I couldn't get him in any. I got outbid and all of them.
Yeah, I have no money anywhere.
Exactly.
So I was able. But there was a bunch of people sleep at the wheel. You know what I mean? Except for my guy Peacock in both leagues I was in. He blew. He still had fab. I was like, oh, it's over. I'm not gonna get him.
I think I got him in one league, and I have 0 fab across like 15 leagues. Like it's zero. I'm the I don't save it for later. I don't save my milk money when it comes to only 16 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that's going to go out there and spend it week 1 through 4 where I see opportunity and hope that I save a little bit here or there. But you know what? I was able to pick up so many backups off the waiver wire this year. I picked up Tyrone Tracy when Scatterboo took over. People just dropped him. I had Scatterboo. I was like, all right, I'll pick up Tyrone Tracy. And then Scat went out. So I was like, all right, at least I got Tyrone. I was thinking about playing him over Quinshon Judkins this week. Like,
if
I have
to. You may
Rodriguez played in full practice this week, so I'm probably Rodriguez.
I hope the trend doesn't run out this week, but everyone and their mom has been running all over Buffalo. You know what I mean? Maybe it's
right, but their offensive line is banged up. Joel Bitonio has not played. Who is I don't remember the name of the.
And Jenkins has been lackluster.
It's the offensive line, man. I'm telling you, the one good game that Sanders had, it was because they all played together, and then they got hurt. They went back out.
Yeah, that offensive line last week when we played from what they said, they all had like backups in some positions, even backups down to their third string.
Yeah, they were third string.
Even offensive line. Yeah. So I mean, it's completely put together.
That was supposed to be a matchup they could have exploited.
That's what I'm watching this week. I'm watching the injury report from Browns practice. If they have a better showing of their offensive line, they could turn it over like flipping a switch.
Right.
And that's the truth of it.
Guys, we are a little over our time here, but you know what? Time flies when you're having good conversation, talking some good football. But I don't want to take too much more of your time. But Chef James, before you head out, can you please let the good people of the Clubhouse know where they can find you and more people like you?
Oh, yeah. Every Sunday morning, in season, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tilt is Real on YouTube. Follow us, like and subscribe. Check us out if you need help. We do live roster setups, sit, because the Tilt is real. It's the Fantasy Football Sunday Tilt. Check us out.
Absolutely. What they started doing this year as well is they have a little giveaway there. They have an Amos St. Brown chain that's autographed there, and every week when people submit their submissions for their tilts, which way they're tilting, they review it. Him and Mr. Swanson and the one and only review it, kind of talk it over, and then they have some submissions that they put in. If they think you're
I'm actually the guy that hits the button all the time. So we call it the tilt of the week. If it's really hard, if it has all three of us tilting our faces off, like, man, I could go either way. The numbers are like a decimal point away from projection. And it's really like it's a coin flip. That's what gets the tilt of the week.
A lot of the times, like you start off saying like, yeah, Waddle, I'm going to go with Waddle. And then they give their take. No, you're right. I'll go with Devontae Smith. And then it's like,
because it's real. Because different things all add up to different start sit questions. Like it could be easy as, hey, well, I see Waddle as a start this week, but I also saw him out as a sit on someone else's show. What's going on? Like, you don't know, and you have to break down the situation as much as we can up front. If we go deep, we give you other players. They're like, oh, well, A and B player, where should I go? I see your waiver wire. Check out this guy, 39% rostership. Like that's real. And you know what? They do it in show. And 9 out of 10 times that waiver ad is there, or they come back year after year, and it's great. Like, we've been together on the show now, been doing it. This is our 6th season, and we have the same supporters coming back each and every week, each and every year. And so it was a good way. I partnered up to Trophy Smack a little bit. Yeah,
still one of them. You know what I mean? And Chef was definitely one of the ones when I told him I was going to branch off and do my own thing and start my own thing. Very encouraging. Was one of the first ones to invite me onto their show as well to kind of talk some ball. So I mean, like I said, good people over there.
Yeah, man. Shout out. Love you.
Absolutely. Thank you for hopping on and joining us. And Bogey, please do the same thing. Tell the people at the Clubhouse where they can find you and more people like yourself.
Yeah. I'm very elusive, but you can definitely find us if you dare on Gen Wealth Net on YouTube. That's GEN Wealth Net, and I'm definitely gonna check you guys out over there at the Tilt is Real. I'm definitely gonna sub up. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure meeting you as well, my good brothers.
Feeling mutual.
Yeah. Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. If we probably not sure if we're going to have a show, probably not going to have a show next week, it being Christmas Eve. I want to wish both of you guys a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Not sure if you celebrate Christmas or not, and then Ugly over here, I'm sure I'll see him before then. So,
man, happy holidays to everybody.
For sure, Merry Christmas.
What I mean? Everybody just, I always like to tell everybody, drive safe in the holidays. I mean, don't drink and drive.
Yes, absolutely.
Uber it.
Very much so. Yes.
Uber it.
Please do. But so you probably won't see us next week here at the Clubhouse because we'll be with our friends and families and stuff. But the following Wednesday, we will be back to kind of break it all down. See who is in the championship or who won the championship game. I know if things go right here at the Clubhouse, I win my game, I do my job. Malcolm the Bay does his job. We'll be meeting in the championship game at the Chicago Clubhouse Fantasy League, playing for that.
Waxing that ass.
Behind me. Whoa.
Should we give you guys alone? Should we give you guys some privacy?
No.
Yeah, you know what? Butter because it was on his biscuit.
Someone's getting out of line right now, So and
that shit for sure, bro. I don't like that shit.
I don't care what you like. You're coming for that belt.
Smack it over your damn head is what's going to happen. You come too fast. You better watch the goddamn stuff. So, anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. Mouth, before we leave, do you want to say anything? Wish a shout out, anything like that before we go?
No, man. Just thanks to the guests for coming on. Appreciate all the love that they come on, and just a pleasure to be doing this every Wednesday, and all the love. Like I said, happy holidays, and hopefully you guys are running shit in your playoffs because I know I'm gonna run shit in mine.
Except for one. Anyways, guys,
I want to know that outcome. I want to know that outcome.
We will definitely tell you the outcome. If I win, trust me, you'll be seeing me dancing with that belt. I'll send you a video. But guys, thank you again for joining us here at the Clubhouse. We really do appreciate it. Again, take care of yourselves. Be safe out there in the holidays, driving out there. Be good out there because you know who's watching. But if you can't be good, goddamn it, at least be good at it. Peace.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
Tony's ass a sheep.
Nah, in the championship game.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
And now it's all over.